Okay, well, this changes everything, and the mainstream media are pulling their hair out. They are going absolutely crazy because Argentina has just elected a former TV personality, a Trump lover, a former economist, a man that has 4 dogs that he gets his advice from, and he's even known as the Crazy by his fans. No, this is not a joke. This is 100% true. What has just happened in the 3rd largest economy in Latin America. In fact, the media are so angry and going crazy about this that they are all using the exact same lines, calling him an extreme right-winger. And they're using that same line as before, how dangerous this is to our democracy. Although I'm not sure how him going into Argentina is dangerous for the USA, the UK, Europe, etc. But now before we get into all of this today, because this is one of the craziest stories I think I've probably seen all year, and it's either going to be a really, really good thing, or this could actually become later on a really bad thing. But right now I'm going to stay positive about it. But before we go into it all, I've got a really short message for you about this week. Alright, ladies and gents, we are live again this year with the Black Friday through Cyber Monday deal on courses. And this is going to be the most ridiculous deal that you have ever seen. Yes, 90% off courses for just a few days only. And it will be very, very limited by coupons. So you really got to be hot on this. And if the coupons have expired for today, then you just need to refresh each day to see if you can get a coupon. All of the courses will be included, nothing will be excluded. You'll even get all the free bonuses and everything else that comes with it. You will be getting the full course. So if you've always dreamed of improving your life and learning about macro and finance and wealth and the psychology behind wealth, then these courses are going to be right for you. This isn't rocket science. You don't need to spend months watching YouTube videos and thousands of hours and trying to design your own blueprint and all of this sort of stuff. I've already done it for you. Why waste all of your time, which is going to be far more valuable than the price that you pay for the trainings? Because these courses are going to help you to make more money almost right away. I'll give you a guarantee with the stock market course, and that is that you're going to be able to find undervalued stocks, in fact significantly undervalued stocks, very, very quickly within the first few days of doing your course. And for the money psychology course, I guarantee on day 1 you'll start to think more like the rich, more like wealthy people think. Because you've probably noticed yourself that rich people are not necessarily smarter than you, they just know some things that you don't. So this is what you're going to learn in the course. I also guarantee you that you are never going to see a lower price than what you're seeing right now. People last year thought I was bluffing on the price, and they got a nasty shock after Black Friday week when the prices went back up. So we got loads of testimonials, loads of guarantees. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee on the course as well. Check out the information page, and I hope you are lucky enough and quick enough to get one of these coupons. All right, back to the video. So Javier Milei winning the election has been a huge shake-up to Argentina, and quite frankly, everybody has been left shocked. They saw him as a clown, someone who couldn't be taken seriously, but I think they've really underestimated the populist vote. I think they've underestimated the people's desire for change in Argentina. You look at the poverty rate there, it's over 40% of people live in poverty. And we've covered Argentina before on videos, the expression as rich as an Argentinian. They were the richest people in the world at one point before the economy was destroyed. And you only have to look at the inflation rate, over 150%. With their central bank forecasting their inflation to be over 185% this year for year-on-year rate. So of course, people are going to want change. Argentina is the biggest debtor to the IMF. They are in debt up to their eyeballs, which of course every citizen carries this debt. So it was no surprise to me when I saw video clips like this.
Mucha corrupción con el gobierno que está. mucha pobreza, mucha inflación. Como ministro de Economía no hizo nada. Es el peor gobierno de la historia de la Argentina después de la democracia y por eso decidí votar un cambio.
No estoy de acuerdo con todas sus políticas sociales, pero sí con la mayoría de las...
Se eligen entre dos modelos muy diferentes, entre un modelo que para mí ha fracasado en América Latina y un modelo que es algo diferente, que no me convence del todo, pero que muestra algo diferente y bueno, hay que, para mi gusto, darle la oportunidad.
Me inclino por Milei porque el modelo de país de este joven es un país, como te dije, libertario, sin un hombre honesto.
And actually, the Donald sent him a message directly saying, "Congratulations to Javier Milei on a great race for president of Argentina. The whole world was watching. I am very proud of you. You will turn your country around and truly make Argentina great again." So what are some of his policies then that he ran with? I mean, how on earth did an outsider like this win the presidency of Argentina? Well, there's a couple of things we need to go into. There's one thing to win the presidency, but there's another to win over the Congress. He's currently got about 7 out of the 70 seats, so he only really has about support from 10% of Congress. So this is why I said earlier, this could be a risk. It could be dangerous because if the people really are behind him and he's saying that he wants to make all these changes, but then Congress blocks a lot of the stuff, this is where we might see some trouble. Tucker Carlson was another person who has just congratulated him, and he actually did an interview with him a couple of months ago. I don't know if you saw that interview, but he did an interview with him a couple of months ago saying that he thinks he'll be the next president, and of course it has now happened. A couple of other things he wants to do then as president is he wants to ditch the peso for the US dollar. Now, in my mind, this is both a plus and a negative. And it's going to be, I think only time will tell. But what a lot of the economists and news agencies are saying is that this guy's crazy. There's no way he can possibly get any dollars because they don't have any dollars. They have to pay off their IMF or pay the payment on their IMF loan in Chinese yuan recently, which is true. But what they're saying about there's just no way, they haven't got the pesos and everything else for the dollars, that is not true at all, because they've got about $50 billion worth of pesos. And the citizens have over $200 billion worth of US dollars, yes, US dollars, that live outside of Argentina. So what could even happen there is the citizens may have more confidence to bring those US dollars back into banks. Would I do it? Probably not. But the average citizen might have more confidence to do that if this transition is successful. The other thing, he keeps taking a chainsaw on the campaign trail, saying he's going to cut up the central bank. He wants to blow up the central bank. And although I'm sure we all agree with this on this channel here, how amazing that is, really all that he would be doing would be exchanging one central bank, and this one is not independent, it's not owned by shareholders, it is a government central bank. He'd be exchanging that for the Federal Reserve, for US dollars. And the other thing to remember is that once you convert over to US dollars and the peso's gone, there is no turning back. You can't turn back once that's happened. And that brings on to accumulation as well. So what did we see with the European Union? We saw all those countries going on to the euro. So you think how many currencies there used to be, hundreds and hundreds of currencies. And then what do we have now? We have the euro, we have all these smaller currencies around the world. We have the US dollar, we have some countries that use US dollars heavily. Argentina looks to be one of those that's going to use US dollars heavily as well. We have the BRICS currency, which is developing quite rapidly at the moment, which is going to be a very interesting one because it will be commodity based. That's why they've been buying up all of the gold, because they're going to use their local currencies, smaller currencies, and they're going to back it with gold. So they'll be doing a lot more trade. So we're seeing this convergence then into smaller and smaller currencies all the time. Once a currency's gone, it's gone. And this leads us very rapidly towards what could be in the future a one world currency, which is a deep concern of mine, especially a central bank digital currency. What surprised me then was that when I looked into how on earth this person won, who I've never heard of, it was over TikTok. Yes, he built a huge social media following over YouTube and TikTok and some of these other platforms. He really hit the social quite hard and gained a massive following with some of his more extreme viewpoints. Some of the interviews he did, you've got to watch some of these things. They are crazy to watch. And even in his winning speech, he said this: from being the richest country in the world, today we are ranked 130th. Half of Argentina is poor and the other 10% are destitute. Stop this impoverishing model of the caste. Today, we embrace a libertarian model so as to return to a global power. Now, it's quite interesting how all the media are calling him a right-wing extremist, or they're calling him extreme right candidate, one of those two terms, because that seems to be the label now for anyone who is libertarian. Libertarian, not conservative, not Democrat. They sit very independently, and therefore the free market and other such measures. In fact, he actually calls himself an anarcho-capitalist, and he completely believes in the free market. But I will say that some of the points I saw were a little extreme, even by my viewpoints. So we'll have to see how some of these policies go. Another person who came out in very strong support of him with a scripted message right away was Steve Forbes. I thought that was quite surprising. Steve Forbes gave him his unequivocal support. So what are some of the policies that he wants to do? Well, firstly, he wants to cut down all of the government from 19 departments down to 11. And I was happy when he started pulling off certain tabs on there and calling out the hypocrisy of some of these departments.
Ministerio de Turismo y Deporte, afuera. Ministerio de Cultura, afuera. Ministerio de Ambiente y Desarrollo Sostenible, afuera. Ministerio de las Mujeres y Género y Diversidad, afuera. Ministerio de Obras Públicas, afuera, aunque te resistas.
But then there was others that I was left scratching my head. Innovation, why would you want to destroy that department? Transport, why would you want to destroy transport? And the craziest one for me was tourism. Why would you want to destroy the Department of Tourism? I have no idea. I was left scratching my head with that one. The other one I was surprised by is that he said that they're going to break off their membership from BRICS. So they've just been one of the 6 new accepted members into BRICS, which was supposed to happen very soon. And he said absolutely not. They want more of an alliance with the USA. Another quite controversial point is that he fully supports Israel in every single way, even to the point of saying that he may even convert to Judaism himself. A few problems then that I picked out as well. They are the IMF's largest debtor. They owe over $40 billion US. And remember I said they've got about $50 billion US of pesos. So this is going to be a major issue for them. The central bank's had over 60 governors just in the recent time. Only 2 have even completed their terms. And now a lot of foreign companies are withdrawing or suspending their operations in Argentina, and more are being encouraged by the media to pull out. I'm sure we heard all this with Russia. But the forecasters are predicting a 90% devaluation of the Argentinian peso, predicting it to become worthless when the exchange is done. But he's not concerned by this at all. He doesn't agree with the valuations, and he says we've got a low unemployment rate and we've got huge levels of exports. One thing he's going to do right away is open up the floodgates of energy again. He says he's going to kick out all the greenists, the leftists, and he's going to start opening up all the oil, all the energy production as well. He's going to get all that flowing, start getting the money flowing again. And he's even going to ban all the green propaganda throughout the country. He's going to bring back the agricultural sector, which, remember, beef and other agriculture was their staple. It's what made them so wealthy in the first place. So he's going to bring this back. He's going to open it all up again. He's going to put an end to all the fuel shortages throughout the country. He says we've got so much energy and yet we're in poverty from fuel and energy. So this is a really, really crazy one today. I don't know which way this is going to go, honestly, but I am going to watch it very, very carefully, because I think in some regards this will go very, very positively, and it could even set a chain of events for other countries around the world if his policies actually work and bring Argentina back into the spotlight on a global scale, make the citizens more successful, have more money, raise their standard of living. I think all these things will be really, really positive, but at the same time, I do have my reservations if things may go too far. I don't think he's called Mr. Crazy without a reason. So sometimes people who are a little unhinged, shall we say, they can go too far with some of their policies. And remember, these policies that he's enacting right now are just the start. So we've got to see where all of this leads. And talking of being financially successful, remember to get your 90% off deal for the Black Friday offer. It's only this week and it will not be available again until next year. So definitely go ahead and take advantage of this offer. Go into the pinned comment below or look in the description and get started today. There's several courses for you to choose from, everything from macroeconomics and the stock market through to money, psychology, and wealth. It's not a coincidence that so many people are leaving testimonials for this course saying their wealth or their income has increased dramatically from changing their psychology and mindset around money. So remember to grab that course. And apart from that, take care, God bless you, and I will see you tomorrow.